during his relatively short time seated on the Iron Throne, King Aerys I Targaryen had a surprisingly high number of heirs, especially during the later years of his reign. Of course, none of them were children of his own flesh, rather his brothers and nephews, while some did cling on to the hope that somehow the king would find his way into his wife's bed. The reality was the throne would have passed to Aerys' next eldest brother, even though House Blackfyre had been broken with the defeat during the Second and First Blackfyre rebellions. Members of the line of the Black Dragon still waited in Essos, and with Aegor Rivers Bittersteel escaping his punishment after the Third Blackfyre rebellion, it only made the Blackfyre issue linger for longer. If House Blackfyre or Bittersteel smelled blood, or saw the Iron Throne as weak, then they could very well return once again, bringing blood and fire to the realm. But theoretically, this was not to be a concern for Aerys at the time, as despite the fact he had no children, he had plenty of brothers and nephews that all had claims to the throne. No succession crisis would occur. But the way of the world is an unknowable thing, and little did those living through the events know how perilous their position in fact was. King Aerys in total had 4 heirs during his 12 years seated upon the Iron Throne. His first heir, and perhaps longest serving, was his younger brother, Prince Rhaegal Targaryen, who was the 3rd son of King Daenora II Targaryen and Queen Maria Martell. Born around the year 173 to 178 AC, he was married to Lady Aelys Arryn, the 3rd such match between House Targaryen and House Arryn of the Vale. While the exact year of their marriage is lost to the pages of history, it is presumed to have occurred shortly prior or during the early rule of Aerys. Aelys would give Rhaegal 3 children, twins Aelor and Aelora, and a second daughter, Daenora. We don't know much of Rhaegal as a person, however what we do know is that he was said to be a meek man, supposedly mad and sickly. It was also widely believed that Rhaegal was crazy, or insane to some degree, as he had been seen dancing through the Red Keep naked on several occasions. He became Prince of Dragonstone in 209 AC, when his older brother Aerys ascended to the Iron Throne. Rhaegal died in 215 AC, while choking on a lamprey pie in the middle of a feast. At his father's death, Prince Aelor Targaryen, Rhaegal and Aelys's eldest son, became heir to the Iron Throne and Prince of Dragonstone. Aelor and his twin sister Aelora were born sometime between 195 and 211 AC, with the twins marrying each other like many of their Targaryen ancestors when they came of age. But Aelor was not to be Prince of Dragonstone for very long, as sadly in 217 AC, Aelora accidentally caused the death of her promising young prince, her husband, her twin. The history books only describe it as a grotesque mishap. All other details have been lost. While the exact nature of this mishap is not known to us, it is though suggested it was sinister in nature and traumatic enough to leave Aelor's widow, Aelora, apparently mad with grief. In the wake of her husband's death, Aelora was named Aerys' heir, but to many it was clear she did not possess the mental fortitude to be an effective heir, let alone queen. But those worries were short-lived, as at some point after 217 AC, Aelora died. From what is known to us, 3 men, known as the Rat, the Hawk and the Pig, attacked Aelora at a masked ball. The animal masks the perfect disguise, with the men responsible never caught. The princess committed suicide soon afterwards. There is some argument as to if the attack at the ball was truly the reason for her suicide, or if it was in fact more related to the death of her husband and brother Aelor. Perhaps both could have been a factor, and likely was. But what we do know is once again Aerys was in need of a new heir. 3rd child of Prince Rhaegal, Daenora, was not named heir by Aerys after her sister took her own life. While we don't know the specific reason as to why, there is some suggestion that it seems to make sense and fit within the context of events that we know. Namely, it could have been the case that Daenora's age, with her being around 1 to 5 years old, could have been a factor. Plus the fact there was other, much stronger, more suitable candidates. Men who had proven themselves fine leaders and heroic warriors. Men with countless heirs of their own, preventing any further risk of a succession crisis. A firmer, more secure heir. Prince Maekar Targaryen, the 4th son of King Daeron II and Maria Martell, and the last brother of King Aerys I, was named his heir. Maekar was a man in his late 40s when he was made Prince of Dragonstone, and by this time had been married for many years, a marriage that had given Maekar 6 children, 4 sons and 2 daughters, Daeron, Aerion, Aemon, Daela, Aegon, and Rhae, meaning with Maekar, the future of House Targaryen looked more secure than it had for a long time. Maekar had also proven himself to be an excellent warrior and an even better leader, fighting with valor during the First and Third Blackfyre rebellions, playing a key role in each. He also even showed some political prowess in the wake of the Third Blackfyre rebellion. Even some of Maekar's children showed much promise, specifically Aerion and Aegon, showing courage and heroics of their own during the Third Blackfyre rebellion, and of course Aemon, wise and knowledgeable for a man of his age, being one of the few sons of House Targaryen to forge a maester's chain. Thus, it was so that when King Aerys Targaryen, first of his name, died in 221 AC of seemingly natural causes, Maekar Targaryen ascended the Iron Throne, and a new era of Westeros had begun. But the events to follow in this new age would somehow turn out to be even more unlikely than the series of events that led to Maekar becoming king himself, and send Westeros and House Targaryen down a very different path than anyone could have foreseen.